when I spotted the first one of these zero-turn mowers with a steering wheel, I kind of laughed at the person and I was like, that's for somebody who can't drive.
Yeah, that must be for old ladies or something.
That's exactly what I thought. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas, and today we are not sharing our hobbies on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky, because I'm not in Kentucky anymore. I am standing on Rock Hill Farms with the legendary Brock. Brock, man, thanks for having me out.
Yeah, I'm a legend in my own mind, I guess.
This has been really exciting for me to get to come out here because Brock has so many awesome pieces of equipment that I'm going to get to check out. And today, we're going to talk about this Cub Cadet zero-turn mower. Now, you may have seen this mower on Brock's channel or on Outdoors with the Morgans, and this is a little bit different than your mom and pop's zero-turn. It works entirely different, and I think this might be the answer to me being able to use a zero-turn on my property with the hills and things like that.
I'm going to tell you, when I made the video about this, it got a lot of pushback from people who didn't think a steering wheel was a good idea on a zero turn, but this is a radical hill mowing machine, and that's what we're going to try to show.
That's awesome to hear, and I can tell you, just driving it over here to park it, it's nothing like the two-handle zero turns, and that's a good thing. I've run a Cub Cadet tank. My dad had one of the old Cub Cadet tanks, and it was an awesome machine for mowing in straight lines and flat areas and all of that. But this is an entirely different machine, and we're going to try to show that to you today. So guys, I have talked to you about why I use a Kubota BX to mow my property, and my answer is always, I can't mow it with a zero turn because I have ditch lines out by the highway that are very steep. A zero turn, the front wheels want to go down the hill, so a zero turn wouldn't work for that. And the other issue that I run into is I also have a lot of soggy spots in the spring, and Brock and I haven't talked about that yet, but we'll address that in this video as well. He's convinced that this is going to change my mind about mowing on steep banks, so that's the first test we're going to do. All right, so we got her out here on the ditch, and we're going to do a little test run and see how this thing handles the hills. So you're telling me the front wheels are not going to want to pull towards the downhill?
It's going to go wherever you point the steering wheel, and that sounds like, well, everything should do that, but regular zero turn doesn't.
No, they absolutely don't. Another thing that I noticed in driving this is with the steering wheel, I mean, it tracks perfectly straight when you have the wheel straight, where you're always kind of fighting the controls to keep a good straight line with the two-handle system.
The thing about the regular zero turn is you're basically, to fight uphill, you can only power your mower off one wheel,
right?
One drive.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm excited to try this out. Let's do it. Guys, this thing is awesome. It's awesome. I can tell you right now, I just got through mowing some grass just like this with my BX, and it would not cut it like this. It left a whole lot more uncut grass. And then on top of that, this is doing it on a hillside, making a zero turn right on that slope. This thing's amazing. You know I get excited about things, I do. And I've not run many other zero turns except some of the older models, so I'm not telling you I'm an expert. But what I can tell you is all along I've been raving about my Kubota BX and how it will do everything, and I use it to mow my yard because it's the only thing I can put on my steep ditches and still cut the grass. Well, I was wrong. I just simply put, I was wrong, because this thing does the business. These ditches are almost identical to what I have on the highway where I live. Same slope. I would mow this with my BX with the wheel spacers on, but you kind of got to slide up on the high side of the seat. And this Cub Cadet inspires confidence. I mean, I've been in the seat for 5 minutes and literally did a spin around right here in the ditch and felt completely safe doing it.
Yeah, so I've lived on this property 4 years. I've tried about 5 different machines to mow this. My tractor's bigger than Lucas's tractor, and I will not take it across this hill. It might do it, but I'm not risking tipping my machine over this ditch. And I've tried it with other zero turn mowers, and I said it's not worth it how much I fought with those mowers to get it to work. This one makes it easy. And I don't think you can get a better ditch mower or steep slope mower than this unless you get a Ventrac.
I really think he's telling the truth. From what I've seen here, I'm thoroughly impressed, and I would seriously consider buying one of these Cub mowers. I really would. And I didn't expect this result, honestly. I kind of expected to come out of this being like, yeah, it would work, but kind of no big deal. It's a lot of money, so I'll just keep using my BX. I want one. All right, so I got to make one more comment about what I like about this thing, and that is the smooth ride. Man, Brock, that air ride seat, I was cruising across your yard here, which is not smooth. I'm not taking shots, but your yard's rough, and so's mine. And the Kubota BX rides good, but it doesn't ride this good. And when I finished mowing out there on the ditch and I'm ready to come back here and park it so we can finish up with you guys, I was full throttle screaming down his driveway. How fast does this thing go?
15 miles an hour.
And it's smooth as silk. You can't do that on the Kubota. So this would save you a lot of time.
Yep, and a few more things if someone's watching this and say, man, I want one of those mowers. Number one, I'm not affiliated with Cub Cadet. I don't benefit in any way from saying I like this. But I will say this is a $15,000 to $16,000 premium mower, but they also make these steering wheel drive system mowers from residential all the way through a bigger model than this with the dual rear wheels. So there's a lot of, if you want a mower with a steering wheel that handles hills like this, you've got a lot of options besides this Pro Z900.
I'm going to share with you guys something kind of funny and tell on myself, but when I spotted the first one of these zero turn mowers with a steering wheel, I kind of laughed at the person and I was like, that's for somebody who can't drive, so they got to have a steering wheel. That's not the case. I was wrong.
Yeah, that must be for old ladies or something.
That's exactly what I thought.
It's a performance design, and the only reason that other companies don't make this is because they can't, because it's patented.
That's awesome. One more question for you, Brock. So my other concern with my Kubota is soft spots and mud. And unfortunately, we're in a drought here in Kansas, so there's no mud for us to try this thing out in. But what do you know about that?
So we're in a drought here. I haven't got to play in any mud with it, but the rep told me, and all I can do is repeat what he said, that if a regular zero turn mower gets stuck, you can pull up right next to this, hook to it, and pull the other one out with this. And the reason is because it uses both drive wheels at the same power, full power, even when you're turning or doing anything else.
So it's kind of like diff lock. On your others, and it makes a huge difference when you can use your diff lock and you're getting stuck.
That's the word he used.
Yeah, that makes sense. Brock, man, thanks for letting me try out your mower.
Hey, thanks
awesome.
for coming up.
Yeah. All right, guys, listen, until next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation. It's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.